Double binds are often thought of as a no-win situation between two contradictory choices. However, often the choices are only a distraction to hide the real goal of a double bind. This video explores how narcissists use double binds to manipulate you, leave you feeling helpless, destroy your confidence, and make you feel trapped. Stick around to the end of the video where I give you tips on how to deal with narcissistic double binds. A classic double bind is where two conflicting commands, pieces of information, or messages are given to you. But it can be two choices that have the same outcome, or two choices that both will result in a loss or considerable disadvantage for you. The situation needs to be constructed in such a way that the person does not realize the contradiction in choices or messages, or feels they have no option but to choose between what is presented to them. Double binds can be short or long double binds, which are terms I use to help explain them. Either choices or messages are given at the same time or shortly after each other, the person needs to choose on the spot. For instance, you come home late and your partner accuses you of having an affair. You deny the allegations and they respond by claiming that you are lying. You deny the allegations again and they respond with, "If you lie to me one more time, you will regret it. Admit you are having an affair." Here you are pushed to either admit you are having an affair or be accused of lying, both of which will result in punishment for you. If you try to point out the contradiction or walk away, the narcissist claims only a cheater would not answer and takes it as an admission of guilt. This traps you in a no-win situation. This form that I call a short double bind is a favorite of overt narcissists, as it is mostly focused on action and creates intense emotions in you and often leads to conflict. Its primary aim is to give them an excuse to abuse. They can also be to avoid accountability. Although there may be repercussions afterward, such as you fearing coming home late again, most of the effect of a short double bind is in the moment. Thus, the double bind is mostly resolved when you make a choice. Either choices or messages are given some time apart. You may only need to take action in the distant future. This will make you dread facing that situation in the future and needing to make a choice. For instance, the narcissist tells you to help them stop drinking so that they can stop abusing you. A day later, you find them opening a beer bottle and you remind them to not drink. They scold you that it is only one beer and that you don't want them to be happy. 2 days later, you find them opening a beer again and you say nothing. Again, they scold you, but this time claim you don't want to support them to stop drinking and thus you must like to be abused. Even though the situation is over, the double bind is not. It is indefinite. You will constantly fear coming across a narcissist opening a beer bottle because either way you act, you fear being scolded. Although long double binds are used by all narcissists, it is a primary way covert narcissists break you down over time. For if done with backhanded compliments or put down remarks disguised as jokes, it is hard to spot, easy to defend or deny, while always being in the back of your mind where it slowly erodes your beliefs and confidence away. They may say after a party, "Wow, you were so pushy and flirty. Everyone talked about you." Then after a follow-up party, they may say, "Wow, you were so stuck up and negative. Everyone talked about you." Every party you attend in the future, you may worry if you are too loud and flirty or if you are too stuck up and negative. Long double binds are designed to slowly break you down over time and make you feel powerless, hopeless, as if you do nothing right and that you are a massive failure. Humans are unique in that if we are offered only two possibilities, we automatically stop looking for other options and assume those are the only two options or choices available to us. This is even more effective if you are tired or in a negative emotional state, such as angry, sad, or depressed. Short double binds put you under such emotional stress that you eventually choose the option you think will get you out of a situation, even if there are dire consequences. If the stress is enough, most people will confess to anything. This is why innocent people confess to crimes under duress, and why there are laws against obtaining confessions this way. The long double bind is even more sinister. You are trying to predict a future response from the narcissist, by seeking a pattern in their actions, which is mostly impossible because the narcissist is often not consistent in their responses to the same actions of yours. We are pattern-seeking beings, and inconsistency or randomness drives us nuts. This is partly why we get addicted to gambling and narcissists. Let me explain. A study was done on mice and humans where there were two buttons. One button would give a reward 80% of the time and punishment 20% of the time. The other button was the reverse. If the buttons followed this pattern consistently, both mice and humans quickly figured out the pattern and only pressed the 80% reward button, knowing after the two punishments they had 8 rewards coming. But if the rewards and punishments were given at random, but still over time evened out to be 80% and 20%, things changed for the humans. The mice still realized the pattern and stuck to the high reward button. But humans kept trying the low reward button in hopes of trying to see the pattern. This dropped their success to around 68%. In other studies, it was found that dopamine, which is our reward drug, was released not when there was a win, but when the button was pressed and before the results. Thus the reward is the anticipation of success. However, if success was expected, dopamine release was not that high. When success was random, dopamine release levels shot up. Thus we get addicted to the uncertainty of success. This is why you get a dopamine kick every time you scroll on Facebook hoping to find something cool. And even if you do not, you do it again. Because when you do find something cool, the high is so high, it is intoxicating. This is what happens when the narcissist rewards you with a praise, a smile, a hug, even though they abused you for 2 weeks straight. The dopamine hit you get from that one high and the anticipation you have each time you do something and think, maybe this time I will make the narcissist happy, is so strong that it keeps victims going back to the narcissist even when they are treated badly. And that dopamine hit is so specific to the narcissist that even if someone else does the same or more for you, it does not have the same effect on you. This is partly while scrolling on a different platform does not give the same effect as your favorite one. An example with a narcissist could be, say when you wear pants that tell you 80% of the time you look nice and 20% of the time you look ugly, and when you wear a dress that you look ugly 80% of the time and good 20% of the time. If they were consistent, you would mostly just start wearing pants. But as a narcissist at random tells you that you look nice or ugly, depending on how they feel regardless of what you wear, it messes up the patterns. This will cause most people to jump between choices, trying to find out what makes a narcissist happy, pants or a dress, while they feel frustrated and helpless for not getting the response they think they should get. When they happen to get it right, they have an immense high. The additional consequences is that the narcissist may pick up your distress and become even more inconsistent, which will confuse and frustrate you even more. The interesting thing is, if you stuck with a strategy of a mouse and just took the highest reward option, wearing pants all the time, the narcissist often thinks they do not affect what you wear and gives up the game as it is boring. This is one strategy for dealing with the narcissist double binds. Just stick to one option. They one day say the food is too salty, and the next it is not salty enough, even though you made it the same. Just ignore them and keep making it the same way. If you grew up in a home where you were constantly placed in double binds, and your choices were constantly questioned or invalidated, it may cause you to grow up confused and not knowing what you want out of life. You may live with a constant low or mild anxiety without knowing why. You may question every decision you make, hate change, and want assurances about everything. You may rather ask others what to do than to trust yourself. This may also happen to you if you spend enough time with a narcissist who constantly puts you in double binds. As you question your own emotions, you may feel guilty for feeling sad, angry, ashamed, or upset. This is often due to the narcissist telling you that you have no right to feel that way after everything they have done for you or everything they had to give up for you. You may feel as if you are a failure because you're not happy 24/7. After all these things were done for you, so you must be ungrateful or evil if you are not happy. No one can feel upbeat all the time. And just because people do things for you does not give them the right to abuse you, nor to tell you what to feel, think, or want in life, nor to decide what you need to do with your life. Double binds can make you feel helpless and hopeless, make you lose confidence in yourself and your abilities, cause depression, and make you feel as if you are trapped. It can also make you resentful toward the person abusing you. For no matter what you do, they will find a way to devalue you, critique you, or start an argument. In addition, it can also make you fear the future, fear meeting or communicating with a narcissist, and being placed in situations where you need to choose between the options given or act on the information that was given to you. Thus, you may fear going to a party as you fear you do not know how to socialize. In multiple studies with humans and animals, where they were placed in a situation where they felt as if there is no correct course of action to remedy a situation, they gave up. This is called learned helplessness. For a short double bind, the narcissist almost always plans it with the end goal of causing an argument. They are looking for a reason to punish and abuse you. They may also want to force you into agreeing to have done something they are doing, such as cheating, so that they can feel better about themselves or avoid consequences. With long double binds, it is often because a narcissist just does not want to see you happy, and no matter what you do, they will shoot you down or complain. Most of the time, they don't even remember that they told you something different on a previous occasion, or the narcissist is just never happy. They think something will make them happy and tell you, but when you do it or they get it and it does not make them happy, they cannot admit they are the problem and try to shift blame onto you. However, when it is planned, long double binds are meant to emotionally destroy you and your happiness. It is often hard to know if they planned it. Telltale signs are when they look disappointed when you do not respond the way they expected, or they get that quick evil smirk when they trap you. If you're lucky, you may even catch them waiting to trap you, such as you're looking through a window or opening between the door and the door frame, and see them standing with a cigarette ready to light up or a beer bottle ready to be opened while they watch the door waiting for you to enter. Double binds are not about what is presented to you. There's always something deeper behind it, such as it is not about admitting you are having an affair. It is about getting a reason to start an argument or abuse you. It is not about you looking good in a dress or pants. It is about getting you to think you are ugly no matter what you wear. Also, do not fall for them trying to make you responsible for their actions. You are not. Your first thought must always be your immediate safety. Some narcissists you can call out and challenge. Others you will need to agree with whatever you need to do to make it to the next day. You need to gauge what you can and cannot say and do to the narcissistic person in your life. Stay as calm as you can. Try to talk as normally as possible in speed and in a calm but firm voice. Take slow deep breaths to help keep you calm. Say something neutral such as, "I don't know how to respond," or "I'm at a loss for what to do." Ask an open-ended question such as, "Why would you say that?" or "Why would you think that?" Point out the contradiction such as, "You accuse me of X without evidence, yet you refuse to listen to my side." Or, "If I do as you ask me, you get angry, and if I don't do as you ask me, you also get angry." Or, "When I wore pants on Tuesday, you said I look ugly, but when I wore the same pants on Saturday, you said I look stunning." Do you expect them to turn red, maybe green, and then either explode in rage, storm away, or turn into a helpless victim that just wants to do what is best for you, or just wants to look out for you? Accountability is not a narcissist's strong suit, and being exposed is kryptonite to them. If they refuse to believe you, you can ask, "Is there anything I can say that will change your mind?" Or, "Give me one reason why you would believe anything I have to say." If they cannot answer, just end the conversation. If they refuse for you to leave, you need to think about your safety. But you can also remind them whatever they do is their choice, such as saying, "I have no control over you. Whatever you decide to do or say next is entirely your decision. You can choose to behave civilly, or you can choose to not behave civilly." Afterward, write down what happened in as much detail as you can. Keeping a daily journal is a good idea, as over time you will start to spot patterns in their behavior. It will help you see that maybe most of the time they ignore you when you say wear pants. Yes, it means you still change your behavior, but if you continue to do that behavior, it may look to them as they have no effect on you and cause them to stop as it is boring to them. What journaling can also point out to you is long double binds. Maybe last year at a party they told you that short hair looks good on you, but it was in passing so you forgot. Then because your subconscious tries to find ways for you to please them, you decided out of the blue to cut your hair and they told you you look ugly. That shocked you more than you expected. Rereading your journal, you may realize how they set you up. If you already know about the long double bind, such as no matter if you hold a party or not, they get upset. Just ignore them and do your own thing, knowing that no matter what you do, you cannot please them. It may then also lessen the abuse as they realize that you're not bothered by their opinions and keep doing your thing. Learn more about narcissism by watching the video suggested to you right now.